Hello and welcome to Dear IJ. This is where we add value to your spirit, body, mind, and soul. Please join us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Well, let's get started. Remember, no pretense, no judgment. This is how it works. People write about their problems to us, and then we summarize it to you and try to find a solution or at least make suggestions. I am a trained psychologist, and combined with human experience, I hope I can help. Let's go there. Anyway, so let me read. This is from Wendy C. She wrote her surname. We don't use surnames because actually the focus of this podcast is to really make people comfortable with seeking solutions. So it's the content we're looking for. It doesn't really matter who wrote it. So Wendy C. So Wendy, we're not going to use your surname. It says, Dear IJ, I consider myself a very attractive person. Please don't judge me, but in university, I dated married men to ensure my financial needs were met. Unfortunately, I got caught up in that lifestyle, and now I'm almost 40 years old. I'm single and desperately hoping to have children, or at least one child. The problem is that I am still dating a married man, and I have asked him to accept me as his second wife. I am willing to be a second wife. Please remember, she said we shouldn't judge her. Remember, no pretense, no judgment. So bear with this. She said, I am willing to be a second wife. However, he said he's not willing to openly take me as a second wife, as he's highly placed in society and in his church, and his family will be totally against it. He is still married to his wife and does not wish to divorce her. He tells me that their relationship is very strained, that the wife is not nice to him, and everything seems to be difficult. But he is not willing to end the marriage. I'm like his wife already, as I cook, clean, and do everything for him, and I'm even willing to have a child with him, which he has agreed to. But the question is, what will be the surname of this love child? Even if I'm his hidden second wife, what will become of this love child? Would I name the child after my father's name or his name? If I do so, then everybody will eventually know that there's something between us. He tells me that I can secretly be his second wife. He will take care of me and whatever the child or children may need because he's well-to-do, but he's not willing to openly take me as his second wife. I feel like a dirty secret, and it makes me sad a lot. I don't mind sharing him as a second wife, but I am confused as what would happen if we did it secretly because I love him. I know I'll make a good wife. At least my child will not be a bastard. Sorry, I don't know if you can use that word. He said, please advise me, dear IJ. This is a very loaded letter. But first, as usual, I want to thank you, Wendy, for even writing this because it's not easy. Now that you said that, I want us to even use this opportunity to ask ourselves, what is love? Because sometimes we throw out this stuff. When they said, I love him. But you start asking yourself, if you love somebody, would you like to disrupt their life or the life they want for themselves? The man is telling you that he's highly placed in society and his church. It doesn't mean that people who are highly placed are perfect people, but they want to maintain a certain public aura, and it's their right. So if you love him, why would you want to disrupt that? Then on the other side, you ask yourself, if this man loves you, why would he want to hide you and say you can be his secret second wife? Isn't the whole idea of marriage a societal thing? It's a societal recognition, by the way. Don't mind that religion has this interpretation, tradition has its interpretation, but all of it is grounded on public recognition. If you go to the court house to get married, you want legal recognition. If you go traditionally, you want the blessings of your family and villagers and everybody to know that now these two families have come together. If it's in the church, it's an exchange of oath witnessed by the people who attended it. So in a situation where you're now a secret second wife, what exactly is the benefit of it? But to each his own. But these are questions you may need to ask yourself, because I see, Wendy, that you're already asking pertinent questions. You talked about bringing a child into this world. When you bring those children into this world, are you going to let them know who their father is? Whose name? Like, I'm repeating the same questions you asked. These are questions we need to ask ourselves. And do these things we're doing, what's the long-term effect? I love the fact that Wendy was honest. She admitted that she created this situation because from university days, she was dating married men and she became used to it. The beauty of dating married men, because there's a beauty to it. Maybe I shouldn't say beauty. The pro to it is that is near stress-free. The man will never come to you with any pertinent challenges. You won't be a challenge to him, because he has a family that gives him enough challenge. You're just an escape to him. So all your interactions are pleasure-based. Even if you get sick, he will help you like he's helping somebody, an outsider. You're not an insider. But there's this safety net that gives you the best part of him, because he's not himself around you. He's his hedonistic self, his enjoyment self. So she's already admitted that she's so used to this lifestyle. But does that really translate to marriage? Sometimes it does not translate to marriage. And maybe the man already knows that he's not ready for any solid commitment. If you're a secret, he doesn't have to be answerable to the law, because he didn't marry you in the courthouse. He's not answerable to religion. He's not even answerable to tradition. I would even respect it if the man said, okay, I can go and do something on your head. So at least traditionally, they will know. If he loves you enough, he should have the courage to go and tell his wife that he wants to take a second wife. See, I said it in my other podcast unit. I believe in polygamy. But let's be clear on what polygamy means. It means marrying more than one spouse with the knowledge and consent of the previous one. It's not something you do in secret. It means that you people have decided. So because whenever I hear people say, hey, back in the olden days, well, in the olden days, like I said in my previous podcast, the previous wife or wives even will help the husband seek for the subsequent wife, because it is a communal agreement. They've agreed to it. But in a situation where you're going to be a secret wife, so what exactly is the benefit? When you have the child cannot bear his name, because obviously if the child bears the name, people will now know that he's the father of the child. So there's all these things happening. And I want to take this opportunity, because Wendy talked about it. There's a social disruption that's happening. And I feel so sad every time I see it, because it's almost like a sociological crisis and everybody is going about their business like it's not a big deal. The crisis I'm talking about is biology versus sociology or socialization. Now, what I mean is that there's a biological time for procreation. Don't mind what people tell you. And please, I don't want people coming and talking about, oh, my Janet Jackson gave birth at 51. This person got married at 48. They are outliers. They are not normal. They are, in research, they are abnormalities. You understand? But because of technology, we celebrate abnormalities and we start normalizing them. Please, all you young girls out there, don't mind what people are telling you. If you want to be a mother, the peak period to do that is from age 18 to 35 max for motherhood, because biologically your ovaries, your reproductive organs are at their peak. Pregnancy more than likely will not be dangerous for you. For men, from 40 years old, your sperm is not the same. The quality is poor. So when we're doing these things, sometimes let's stop being sentimental. Let's not be social about it. Let's just call a spade a spade. This young lady now has spent the prime of her life dating men who already have lineage. They already have children. They've already made. They're already established. She sacrificed the altar of her. She sacrificed her youth on the altar of frivolities and money. And now that she wants those things that she should have done in her youthful years, she's willing to settle to be a second wife. Now, all I can say is that if this man really loves you, he should be able to talk to his wife and say, look, I want to get a second wife. You're getting old. We are getting old. Maybe she'll come and help us. Let us all live together as possible. And let me send a word of caution. If you're coming to somebody's family that is already made as a second wife, please come with peace, not with war. Come with peace. Because for a woman to look at you and say, okay, my husband, go ahead and get a second wife and accommodate you, it takes a lot. Don't come there to disrupt their home. Don't come there to cause problems for them. And then maybe that's what the man is avoiding. For a man to tell you that he's not willing to divorce his wife, despite all the storytelling, oh, she's terrible, her mood, her attitude, she's not my type, she's just my friend. The excuse, oh my goodness, the deceit is high. No matter what he's telling you, the point is that they are not divorced, correct? So you are a second wife. You want a situation where you're so good to this man that he has enough confidence to tell his wife that you're a good person. I honestly believe that if the three people sit down and they agree that this will work, and the first wife can even say what she expects from me. I want you to be respectful of my person. I'm much older than you. I know a situation where the husband was in his 60s, the wife was in her late 50s, but she wasn't healthy. She was having some really serious health complications. And the second wife came in, took care of the first wife, nursed her to good health, and the three of them are living together till date in this country, peacefully together, because the first wife recognized there are things that she's not interested in, the husband is still interested in, but the second wife is able to keep the husband company. Now, that is another level of love. But what I believe is that made it work, because I know the parties involved, is that the second wife came with peace, not drama. You know, she came with peace, and that peace has reigned. The first wife also was sincere enough to say what she can and cannot take. And the husband was smart and wise enough to handle them. So to be a second wife is a communal discussion. Please, I don't know anything about second secret wives. When we were younger, people would tell you you're the second, you're my, I like you better than the other person and all that. But now that I'm older, I'm beginning to realize that real love is bold and obnoxious. If somebody loves you, they can't even manage themselves. They can't wait to tell people about you. They can't wait to tell the whole world that they're in love with you. So they can't hide you. You can't be a second secret second wife. There's no such thing. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. If these men are bold enough to tell you they love you, they want to have children with you, they should be bold enough to take you as their second wife and have the discussion with their wives. And let me tell you something. Part of the hurt of cheating and philandering is the absence of communication. You'll be surprised what real love can absorb. If the husband and wife really love themselves, they should be able to have conversations that defies human understanding because they are one. So the husband should be able to go home even if the wife is defiant. If you really love that person, it should give you the courage to have such discussions. But if you are hesitant, you should start asking yourself, why can't you have that discussion? If you were in that young girl's shoes, she's almost 40. She doesn't have a child. She perhaps has been dating you for some time. So what is in it for her? What is in it for her? You can let her go if you know that you're just looking for young people to befriend. You let her go. But when you start talking about marriage, having children, these are real serious issues. And then some men are married to women that they can't even have this discussion with at all. So if they can pull off the secret second wife, I can't even get it right. That is their own business. But I just want you to know that as you're making these decisions, you're crafting the consequences that follow. As you're making these decisions, you're crafting the consequences. So Wendy, as you're making the decision about being somebody's second wife, do it the right way. Let the wife be part of the discussion. Don't be a hidden secret. Don't be somebody's dirty laundry. You are worth so much more than that. You are worth so much. Don't let desperation define your choices because sometimes it comes down to that. So another thing I want to ask you, Wendy, and I want to ask our audience, what happened to you? What childhood trauma made you feel like, and that's our next episode actually, but what childhood trauma made you feel like you're not worthy to be somebody's first choice? Why would you settle? You started by saying you are an attractive female, but you're not attractive enough for a man with means, somebody to have married you all this while. So you need to do some homework. What was that thing that was making you said it's to finance yourself. That tells me that you have always been somebody who goes after so much more than where you are. you're overly ambitious, or you're gluttonous, or you're covetous. You're always wanting more than what you have. So that is another dynamic. If you're always wanting more than what you have, you start looking for means to get it that are not comfortable. So for a young person to decide, I'm going to start dating young men when they are young. I'm going to date married men from when you're young, and now you're near 40, you're still dating a married man. Look inside and ask yourself, why do you feel unworthy to attract somebody who will take you as their first? Why haven't you found a man who will look at you and say, I want to marry you. I will give you my surname. You will bear my children. You establish my lineage for me. And that goes out to all these people that keep saying, I want to be a second wife. No problem with that. But if you're going to be a second wife, do it the right way. Let it be bold. Let it be talked about. Let it be discussed. Let you be accepted. Because you should also have something to offer that the second wife will see reason to have you as her co-wife. You understand? But if you're going to be a hidden dirty laundry, that means something is wrong from the beginning. Maybe you're not up to the quality or standard of wife material that this man is saying, but you're perfect for a side chick. You're perfect for a hidden secret, but you may be substandard for a wife. And those are things, I know it's harsh, Wendy. Like I said, no pretense. I'm just trying to be honest. So you may want to ask yourself, what is it about your sense of self-worth that will make you feel comfortable dating a married man when you're almost 40? To the point where you want to have a child with him, you're considering being a secret second wife. You're now a child. You know what it takes to carry a child? You carry your child. You don't know what surname to give the child. It's just a mess. It's a complete mess. And these men get away with it. You didn't say much about him, but I can guess that he's probably a wealthy man. Your eye is on his money. Your eye is on his wealth. Previous episode, we talked about upgrade, all of that. But to what end? You come and disrupt somebody's family. If he's not willing to discuss you openly with his wife as a second wife, please, it's not too late to change your mind. You must not marry that man. I know people who are married in their 40s, start having children. It's not ideal, but it happens. But they either end up with a widower or an older man, but it's their person. Somebody actually looked at them and said, you're worthy to be my wife. Again, Wendy, I hope this is helpful. Because that's where I'll be ending today. Please like, share, and subscribe to Dear IJ on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcast. And remember, be healthy, be happy, and please keep it positive. And because of this episode, I'm going to say one more thing. Ladies out there, people out there, you are worthy to be loved. Real love. Not superficial, not hidden, not secrecy. You're worthy to be loved. Wendy, one more time. If you're going to be a second wife, you are worthy to be discussed. You are worthy to be contemplated. You're worthy to be a decision that husband and wife will have to contemplate on. Until next time, that's it from me.